Hello and welcome to Funky Fox Gaming. I'm back on This Is the Police. Last episode, again, was a bit of a mixed bag. Some things kind of went my way, other things went quite badly. But we'll see how today goes. No. No. Oh. Right, well, powers tree ball. Extra strong. I'll send 4. Hopefully none will die. Oh. Of course. I think I'm going to start reading some of these properly and it'll give me a clue that they're actually false alarms. Like that UFO one from either last episode or the episode before. Mr. Boyd, I would like to offer you a great opportunity to make some real money. Just send 2 policemen to the store who will pretend that they're trying to stop a robbery. Let me be clear, the robbers must leave this crime scene intact with the cash. Dodgy. There's a clear view from the street. The suspect is sitting at the table in the corner, quietly eating his pizza. There's a gun next to him. There's about a dozen other people in the restaurant. So wait until the suspect exits the restaurant, storm the pizzeria, call the pizzeria and ask them to speak to the man with the gun. Honestly didn't think that'd work, but there you go.
More testing in progress.
Oh. Oh, but I got 25 grand. Several men dressed in camouflage entered the restaurant. Right, okay, I'm gonna wait. Can I wait? Ooh.
We've got a situation here.
The guests are eating dessert and talking about politics. Pick out the most suspicious looking man and beat him. Nobody's going home until we find the thief. Ask all guests carrying a purse to go into a separate room. One man, outraged by the situation, jumps up and yells that he's too honourable and important to participate in such a circus. Search him, shut him up with a nightstick, arrest him. Search. Taking advantage of the panic, one of the guests stands up and quietly moves towards the back door. Where do you think you're going? Tackle him before he escapes. Ask the hostess for a bottle of champagne. Well, I mean, that one's tempting. Let's go for that one.
9/11 completion. 12:10 completion.
Ah. That's 5 people on that one.
6/11 in progress.
No, can't do that one yet. Aha.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Soft Spot.
So I've got enough now, but whether it's right or not, I don't know. So, Frederica Laterza personally oversees every incoming delivery at the port. She doesn't go anywhere without 2 bodyguards. A large cargo ship arrives from Colombia every 2 weeks. It carries lots of interesting things, including boxes of drugs. Frederica Laterza boards the ship and pays the captain for his services. Sum up. The urns filled with drugs are locked in a large yellow cargo container. Ta-da. It gets unloaded first. The urns are packed in boxes and are shipped by truck to the Itala funeral home. One of Frederica Laterza's guards escorts the truck driver to the Itala funeral home. Hey.
Four test completion. Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
Inside the apartment, there's a naked girl lying on the couch in tears. Standing next to her is a man with a gun. He takes aim at the police. Drop your weapon, rush to help the girl, shoot the suspect.
6/11 complete.
That went better. Oh, I've got stripes to give out. Let's give it to Sims. Oh, right, okay. Let's hold fire on that one for now. Jack, we're arranging plans for a funeral today. Everything has to go quietly and respectfully. 3 of your guys should be enough. Let's send the lowest 3.
progress.
Gotta send the beard to public indecency.
A in progress.
Attempted murder. No. That's going to be a false alarm.
Incomplete.
Well done, Beard. Hedge him a bet that's a false alarm. It's not.
412A in progress. 410A complete.
Yeah.
412A in progress.
A man with a lacerated hand walked into the emergency room. He says he hurt his hand while he was drilling something at home, but I don't believe him. No. A group of environmentalists have gathered at a first store and begun throwing stones at the windows. Okay, that one I will answer. That one I will ignore.
We've got a situation here.
The suspect is under arrest, but the whole time he's resisting and demanding he be allowed to visit the patient. That's my brother. He won't survive to the end of the week. Let me just see him. Let him visit the room and keep him under arrest. Remove the handcuffs and let him go to the brother. Then arrest him afterwards. Take the offender. Let him visit.
412A. 412A. We've got a situation here.
Customers and employees are running out of the store. The security guard is trying to reason with the protesters. One of the activists throws a Molotov cocktail through the broken window. Some coats instantly catch fire. Call the fire department and attack the activists with nightsticks. Grab one of the surviving goats and gift it to your sister. Nobody moves asking your life. I'll go for that one.
212 complete.
I'm almost tempted to ignore every dentist sighting, but I know that that'll bite me in the ass.
215 complete.
Right, first thing. Let's do this. I best send SWAT. Gotcha. I'm almost halfway there, guys. Almost
412A
halfway
in
there.
progress.
Something's gonna go wrong now. Oh, there's a fight at the beach. Family walked out to the beach and noticed that a few surfers were gathered near the water, aggressively arguing with each other. Look, they're about to fight. Yeah, I'll send 3. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
The police have difficulty crossing the deep sand, and the surfers are already thrashing each other's boards. Try to grab the surfers, take off your shoes and throw them at the offenders. Don't break the board. Try to grab the surfers. Surfers are covered in butter. They slip through the policeman's hands and escape into the waters on their boards. Guys, can you teach me how to surf? Undress and go in after them. Fire in the air and shout, nobody move.
311A complete.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Oh, I'll risk it. I'm probably going to regret it, but I'll risk it.
510 in progress.
I was kind of hoping I'd get people back before that happened. Ah.
511 complete.
Oh. Oh, it worked. And I got some automatic weapons. Everybody come back now, please. Thank you.
We've got a situation here.
A few onlookers are gathered around the crime scene. A red-headed man in white clothes is bent over the body and is doing something with it. Did anyone see the attackers? Arrest the red-headed man. Get the onlookers away from the old man corpse. A young woman runs up and says the attackers already fled. One of them, she knew it was her neighbour from apartment 207. Enter the house through the green door. Break into the house through the huge rusty door. Climb up the fire escape. Oh. The walls on the second floor are painted with strange symbols. The decorations converge around apartment 205.
Forecasting complete.
Don't go into either, just get them to come to me.
510 complete.
Excellent, excellent. Send me lowest two to that, Christ. I want a raise. Jack, we have something going down today at the pawn shop at 16:39. We wouldn't want any policemen crashing the party. I think $2,000 should be enough. Yeah, okay. Oh no, that's the fraud one. Called it. Jack, we have something going down today at St. John's Hospital at 6. We wouldn't want any policemen crashing the party. I think 500. No, I'm going to crash that one.
911.
Or more than that. So, ignore that one. Cost $2,000.
911 in progress.
And do the hospital. Because 500 is not good enough.
In progress.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with strip poker, but
I was trying
maybe
to
not
raise
in public.
10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
We've got a situation here.
One of the victims said he saw an old janitor quietly rummaging through the ward. Search the janitor's closet, interrogate the other witnesses, go to the nurse's office, announce over the loudspeaker that all janitors are under arrest. Grey-haired janitor wearing overalls tries to quietly sneak away carrying a big bag. Chase him with a hospital gurney. Hold it right there, run after him. Hold it right there.
911.
Yeah, well, offer me more than 500.
We've got a situation here.
Oh god. One man victoriously jumps to his feet, throws his cards down on the bench, turns his bare ass towards the playground and shouts, "Ha, I won." I mean, it's better that way around, really. Grab the suspect's clothing and run. Shield his body from the children's eyes, throw a coat on him and arrest him.
214 complete. Nine ten B complete.
Excellent.
Boyd.
I don't have much time, so listen close. And we got him, Jack. The dentist is in our custody.
Wow. Congratulations, Ethan.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's our guy. But she's definitely the one who committed the murders in Freeburg. And it's a young woman.
Wait a second, did you...
A very large, very strong woman. What? Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jack. I gotta go. We've got a briefing. But, something's not right, Jack. Someone's leading us around by the nose. We'll talk later, okay?
I'd almost forgotten the feeling. The feeling you get when you stay on the sidelines during a major bust. But I don't think I'll be out of the game for long. Palmer had nothing to do with this. The dentist, whoever he is, was a gift box meant for me. It just got delivered to the wrong address. And I've got a hunch who packed the box. Yeah, a box of Caesars.
With that outfit, I could see you coming a mile away, Mr. Boyd.
Ah, Mr. Chaffee. Knowing your love of theatrics, I was afraid you'd keep the mystery surrounding the dentist going for at least another day or two.
What could you mean, Mr. Boyd? Well, it's true. Robespierre does have a passion for mystery and the dramatic. But there's no need to confuse the actor with his character. For you, I'll play the hurried businessman who likes to cut to the chase. That's not quite me either, but though this mask I wear is quite a burden, I have long grown used to it. Besides, I don't want to distract you from your 180-day quest, not for a second longer than necessary. My, is half your time already up? You simply cannot imagine, Mr. Boyd, the painstaking work I've done to cultivate this maniac image. I turn to such literature the likes of which I wish I never knew. If our law enforcement agencies possessed even the slightest aesthetic sense, they would have instantly seen the game for what it was. And the postcards, what can I say?
And if the real dentist turned up again at the wrong moment? I don't imagine lunatics take kindly to imposters.
The dentist died of a heart attack last spring while he was sunbathing on the beach. I discovered this quite by accident, from a university friend, a therapist. It was he who convinced the dentist to stop killing, by the way.
Why the murders? Obviously they'd all been raped by Rogers. It would have been much easier to just get him to talk.
Mr. Boyd, the last thing I want is to appear a brutish butcher. I spent enough time on these women to know they were no use to me alive. Not sure if I should be ashamed to say it, but Stuart Rogers far surpasses me in his ability to intimidate people. Apparently, such things only come with experience. But murder? For that I truly do feel ashamed. It's a burden I shall have to bear for the rest of my days. But sadly, it's not my greatest shame.
What could be more shameful? To frame an innocent woman for such terrible crimes?
What? Are you unhappy with a woman cast as the serial killer? Firstly, I'd say dear Jordan adds a certain grace to the whole sordid story. And second, of all the people I hold in my debt, she's the strongest. And not just physically. Third, she had good reason to settle her debt with me as quickly as possible. Without going into details, I'll just say that she's a very, very caring mother.
Wow.
Do these taste good? Had we met earlier, Mr. Boyd, I would have shown you a far more refined pleasure, one without such an unpleasant smell.
I'm afraid to even imagine what you count as pleasures, Mr. Chaffee. Fountains of blood in the city square?
Mr. Boyd, you're not listening to me at all. I didn't take any enjoyment from the killings. Everything I've done was of strict necessity. I couldn't make Jordan kill all the women that Rogers raped. That would have been excessive. If I had made her kill them all, you'd be rather upset, no?
I can't say I fully understand your plan, Mr. Chaffee, but you've given me more than enough reasons to arrest you.
Yes, but allow me to counter them with one good reason not to. I think you mentioned you dined here once?
Yes, not the best restaurant in town.
And maybe you're just not familiar with the full range of our services. When I inherited this tasteless place from my father, I knew I could never make it into an exquisite restaurant. Instead, I accentuated the atrocity of it all, an aesthetic of a different kind. Now I even live here. To me, this complex is like a microcosm of Freeburg. But we're not here to talk about that. At school, I read a French novel whose name doesn't need mentioning, and I read many amazing things. It seems that in Paris, just before the Revolution, certain places were quite popular. People of wealth and taste visited from the city, shed their luxurious coats, peeled off their white gloves, and with the help of the local farmer, they brutally stabbed a hole in a bull and decorated themselves with the splattering blood as they prepared a large piece of meat for the fire. In the bull's suffering, these effeminate aristocrats found a perverse sort of pleasure. Now I make these pleasures available to the people of Freeburg. I will be honest with you. People who pursue such cruelty truly are crazy. But what is interesting? The best steaks are cut from the tender meat of young bulls. 11 months is just right, beautiful, healthy, full of strength. But these wealthy degenerates who pay $7,000, so our experts will show them where to plunge the blade for maximum effect. Even they don't have the spirit to slaughter the young bull. The thought never enters their minds. They look into the eyes of the healthy animal, bursting with energy, and they quickly shuffle past. As if by instinct, they are drawn to the old, weary, fading bulls. And then, with terrible smiles on their faces, they chew through tough steaks that taste of burning rubber. They feel that they're doing something real with their own hands, a sort of natural selection, as if they're agents in the natural process. But nature also teaches us that the old beast, unable to fend off any threat, might yet survive if it cowers in a dark corner and pretends it doesn't exist. Then, perhaps, the young predator will pass. Mr. Scott will drive you back. I'm late for an appointment.
So many analogies.
Mr. Boyd, you won't believe it, but the person I just got off the phone with was talking about you.
Seems like I'm pretty popular these days.
By the way, Mr. Boyd, I've got to ask, why $500,000?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
I hope that's a recurring segment. Oh, press conference. Mr. Boyd, a maniac terrorized the city for 2 weeks and you did nothing. What would happen to Freeberg if federal agents hadn't come to the rescue and arrested the dentist? The situation was under control. We've been doing their work behind the scenes. The feds are just here to sip off the cream. The city overflowed with panic after your press conference about the dentist. Why didn't you think more carefully about what you were going to say? Panic was inevitable. When there's a serial killer walking the streets, it's natural to flinch at every rustle. After such a failure, a self-respecting office holder would resign. What are your plans? I'm going to keep fighting crime. See, there's a lot of problems and I'm not one to run away from a problem. How do you comment on rumours about the relationship between Mayor Rogers and all 5 of the dentist Freeberg's victims? No comment. Wow. Hey, NRAs, and I'll split that with stuff. Okay, so I'm more than halfway through
Turn
now.
in progress.
Although that did go wrong before. I got fined. Chief Boyd, I represent the interest of a private military corporation, which is hoping to attract a significant investment from your city. We are preparing an investor presentation and we'd like to demonstrate the inadequacy of the police training in matters of public safety. Please understand, this is just business and we can all win here. Give us a couple of hours of your weakest and laziest guys and my kids will look like gladiators next to them. No.
We've got a situation here.
As soon as the suspect sees the police, he pulls a huge knife from his bag and rushes towards the librarian, shouting, "You caught the pigs!" Stop yelling, it's the library. Attack him with a nightstick, shoot the suspect.
12 down. Looks like we have a situation here.
Wow. The woman grabbed a second stapler in her hands. These staplers look like deadly weapons. Look in her bloodshot eyes and tie the camera down. Grab the woman's hands. Deal the woman a solid plunge to the jaw. Wow. Go for that one.
410 being complete.
I knew I could rely on Kochi.
Trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant hot spot.
Okay, well I've only got 2 left, so for you two.
213 in progress. 910 being complete.
Yeah, called it. I made that wish and you little bastard stole it. Oh, that's amazing.
212 in progress. 1111A complete.
Ooh, got cocaine.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
There are 3 drunk men on the street, lighting fireworks and throwing them about. When they see the police, one of them pulls out a firework that looks a lot like dynamite and sets fire to the fuse. Aim at the man with the taser. Cool firecracker, I've never seen one of those before. Dive at the man and try and go. No, that's going to be bad. Taser. The man throws the explosive to one of his friends. The wick was burned halfway down. Lie down on the ground and hold your head. Taser the man with the explosive and quickly extinguish the fuse. Run away from the men.
213 complete.
Bride suffers happiness heart attack at city registry office.
Progress. Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
The police caught her with the garbage truck and pulled it over. 2 men in overalls are laughing in the cab. Guys, what's going on? Guys, the joke's over. Release the hostage. Go into the trash and look for the drunk man. Drunk man gets out with the garbage truck, shakes the dirt off, and attacks the police. And here's the real beats. Scavengers, bastards, you're the worst of all. Filling your bellies at our expense. You should all die. Cuff him.
710A complete. Looks like we have a situation here.
Yeah. The addict has broken a window and he's trying to climb through. His feet are still sticking out. Seize the offender's legs. Remove the addict's sneakers and tickle his feet. Strike his heels with a nightstick. The addict falls out of the window and back onto the street. He drops the scrap of pipe and tries to escape. Flirt with the pharmacist, pounce on the criminal, use pepper spray.
910 being complete. In progress.
Once again, I could really use your help. I'm trying to expand the ranch, but the adjacent territory belongs to fucking idiots who are asking an insane amount for it. Today, I'll be in a regular meeting with them, and I just want a bunch of your police officers to come in during the meeting and start asking lots of questions about murders on the property, maniacs running loose, drug addicts living nearby, stuff like that. Basically help me put pressure on the sellers and knock the cost down a little bit. If the Free Beg please help me, I'll stretch out my hand and offer, say, a boost in your budget. Enough for 5 new jobs. Hell yes. Yancy, you, and you.
We've got a situation here.
Wow, the girl is pounding her friend's head with all her might. Her victim hasn't been conscious for a while. A huge crowd has gathered around, and it's impossible to get near the fight. Blow the police whistle with all your might. Grab a bottle of vodka from the table and throw it at the woman. Force through the crowd to the fight. Let's go that one. Seeing the police, the assailant comes to her senses, jumps up and makes a break for the back door, pushing people out of the way with her sex toy. God. Run to the victim, who is waking up and groaning, and begin giving her mouth to mouth. Arm the taser and run after the girl. Stop the sinner. Taser.
412A.
Oh. Chief, we love playing the part. In the end, we even had ourselves believing it, and we really don't mind earning a little extra on the side. We don't even ask for a thank you, but when we all kind of hinted that we deserved a couple of $100 extra, Mr. Moneybags just hissed at us and said fuck off. That was on the verge of making the deal of a lifetime. That's not how things are done. We're heading to the bar.
Ep10, 510 in progress.
Okay, I think I'm going to stop the episode there. Made some decent progress. Nobody died. That's always a bonus. And we now know who is behind the dentist and what his aims are. Question is, I'm assuming I'll get to back either him or the mayor, and they're both pretty shady, and that's putting it politely. But we'll make that decision going forward. Oh, and the other plus point is I'm over halfway to my target. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.